Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
You know all those anti-Doge, anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protests that are so bipartisan and you're seeing them all over the country? And we had one here that Bugsy and I went to, and it was a complete joke, and it was a mess, and everyone there was mentally ill. Well, the Washington Post frames the coverage of those things as sort of like a bipartisan outcry. Well, they actually went after U.S. Representative Dale Strong, my congressman, your congressman, and they lied a lot in the story. The Post quoted protesters who were supposed independent, Second Amendment supporters, and quote-unquote registered Republicans. And you may remember I said there's no such thing as a registered Republican in Alabama. That's how I knew there was a lie. Turns out all of them, every person in the article, has donated to Democrat causes. Every single one of them. Every one of them. Every one of them.
Number 6.
The Democrats can still not help themselves. They continue finding themselves on the wrong side of absolutely every issue in the eyes of the American people, including the deportation of frickin' animals to El Salvador. Sort of like Abrego Garcia, identified as an MS-13 gang member by a 2019 immigration judge. They're now telling you he's just a dad from Venezuela. Not the case. Vice President J.D. Vance slammed their media allies for the disgraceful focus on the deportation's rationale rather than the crimes of gang members. Meanwhile, in Georgia, showing you how out of touch all of them are, even in the South, Democrats staged a walkout during a 102 vote, passing a ban billing taxpayer-funded sex change surgeries for prison inmates. They walked out of the legislature over that. What a bunch of lunatics.
Number 5.
State Senator Arthur Orr, Republican out of Decatur, is pushing a bill that bans protest outside of individual residences. It restricts noise amplification near homes and confines protest times to between 30 minutes after sunset and 30 minutes before sunrise. So this cites inspiration from protests against Justice Brett Kavanaugh that we saw in 2018, where somebody that went and tried to kill him. Decatur Mayor Tab Bowling for his terrible marrying is that a word? Marrying? Mayorship of Decatur after the killing of Steve Perkins. Orr argues the measure protects residents from intimidation and unsafe situations, while also criminalizing protests in front of businesses, but permitting them in public spaces like parks. Democrats oppose it, saying, how are we going to yell at people if you don't do this? We want to come to your house and yell at you.
Number 4.
The Alabama House passed a bill prohibiting K through 12 students from using cell phones, tablets, and laptops during the school hours starting in 2026 and 2027. But wait a second, is that right? Laptops? Is that right? Are we doing that? Aren't some schools giving kids laptops? The ban would be on cell phones, tablets, laptops, or other portable communication devices on campus during the school day. The devices must be turned off, stored in a locker, backpack, car, or pouch monitored by a teacher. Lawmaker removed a proposed penalty for local schools that don't create and enforce a policy. So they're going to give the schools the ability to do this. The laptop thing, aren't there schools that issue laptops to their kids every year? I think this is going to have
Number
to change
3.
a little bit, but I like the overwhelming, or the overall idea. Gambling is dead. That could be basically the end of it, but I'll give you a little bit more. That's according to Alabama State Senate Pro Tem Garland Gudger, a Republican out of Coleman, who shut down all potential hopes for legal gaming in 2025, stating that a comprehensive gambling bill introduced by Senator Greg Albritton, a Republican out of Atmore, lacks the votes and times to pass with 12 legislative days remaining and other priorities like budgets pending. Gudger has said there was a need for a prolonged negotiation and pre-session vote commitments, but that obviously did not happen. So because that did not happen, well, guess what else did not happen? A gambling vote this year. I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't have any problem with them not doing this. It's gonna happen eventually. The longer it takes, the better, in my opinion.
Number 2.
Wall Street is having a bad time, okay? Because trade war were declared. Wall Street is not enjoying this. President Donald Trump's trade war with tariffs being put in place. Yeah, that saw the U.S. stock market lose $2.5 trillion in value, all on paper, mind you, driven by fears that President Donald Trump's broad new tariffs could plunge the U.S. economy into a recession. The market sell-off was most severe for companies with overseas supply chains, which I think is sort of the point of these things. Apple fell 9.3%. Retailers like Target and Dollar Tree both down 10%, reflecting investor panic over disrupted global trade. China announced a 34% tariff on all U.S. imports effective April 10th, retaliating against President Donald Trump's global tariff plan.
Time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Well, if you're hoping that this is going to be over anytime soon, I might want to remind you, time to log into your Robinhood account and go ahead and buy the dip, folks, because I think we're going to be here for a little bit, so just be aware of what's going on around you. Do not think that this is going to end this weekend, okay? Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick asserts there's no chance Trump will abandon his tariff plan. That is not going to happen. If that's what you're hoping for today, well, you might want to hope for something else, because that ain't going to happen. He predicts long-term market gains despite the immediate fallout. This is, again, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. Singapore and Switzerland pursue engagement with the Trump administration. Yeah, that's great, but I don't really think that everyone was like, hey, I wonder what Singapore and Switzerland are doing. France demands a European suspension of U.S. investments. And China and Canada gear up or have taken retaliatory measures already. So there's that part of this. The tariffs unveiled yesterday have jolted markets. I mean, that's true. I mean, it's happened here. Cratering the S&P by 4%. 4%. Tanking stocks like Nike, 12%. I mean, due to that, they're, being in China the way they are. Ford has rolled out discounts to its car buyers inside the United States. Their employee discounts. They've responded to it this way in order to keep their sales going. Mercedes-Benz is pleading for constructive U.S.-EU talks. Japan says the move is extremely regrettable without hinting at retaliation. The UK opts for negotiation over immediate action. And all of this is happening, well, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick remains optimistic, suggesting countries will reassess their trade stance towards the United States as the economic ripples occur. That's what this is about. It is about causing global economic harm. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, just be honest with yourself. That is exactly what this is about. And then there will be a rebound to that global harm. Does it work? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. We'll see. But this is going to take longer than 24 hours like the media demands. It's going to take longer rather than the weekend. And people are going to get squishy on this. I'm telling you, they're going to get squishy on this. If you supported this, you better buckle up, because it's about to get really, really rough in how this is going to be handled, not only by the media, but by people who are going to say, I told you so. I told you. I don't know why they all sound like Mark Levin in that situation. I told you. But that's exactly what you might want to think about. So just FYI, 'tis about to get rough, my friends. So stay tuned and buckle up. You can weigh in here right now and tell me, is it only up from here? Things are only going to get better? You can jump in and tell me that if you want to. I'm not sure that's where we're at and how people see it right now. 866-494-WVNN. Free speech phone lines right there. Or email me.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. That's the downtownrescuemission.org email inbox. We'll get your thoughts on where the tariffs have taken us and continue talking about the lottery a little bit. It's a mess, and we're here for it. Stay tuned.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.